Have you ever wondered why some people manage to eliminate those bulging and uncomfortable veins on their legs, while others continue to suffer from pain, heaviness, tiredness, and poor sleep? What if I told you that it's not just a matter of expensive medicine or surgery? There is an old trick passed down from generation to generation that is attracting attention precisely because it is simple, natural, and surprisingly effective. And the most curious thing, it can start transforming your legs in just 7 days. What many people ignore is that varicose veins are not just an aesthetic problem. They affect quality of life, self-esteem, and even your sleep. There are people who live hiding their legs, canceling trips, and dealing with daily pain, while they could be using something they probably already have at home. Modern medicine even confirms certain home remedies have real therapeutic effects and, used correctly, work as a real relief for blood circulation. Now, before you think this is just another miracle recipe from the internet, know this. This trick does not replace medical supervision, but it is a valuable complement, especially for those who want quick and affordable results. Want to know how to use apple cider vinegar, honey, aspirin, and other ingredients strategically and safely? So stay with me, because what you'll discover here could be the first step to transforming your legs and your routine starting today. It's funny how we only pay attention to our legs when they start to complain, isn't it? That pain in your legs at the end of the day, the weight that feels like it's not just physical, but emotional too. All of this could be a sign of varicose veins, which affect more than 40% of people over 45 years old. And the curious thing, many people think it's just an aesthetic issue, but the symptoms speak louder. Bulging veins, nighttime cramps that interrupt sleep, and a constant feeling of discomfort. It's not frills, it's health asking for help. These dilated veins, which look like little blue roads drawn on the skin, are the result of compromised blood circulation. And when this circulation fails, the effects appear quickly. The pain in the legs intensifies, the swelling is unrelenting, and the person begins to feel limited in even simple things, such as climbing the stairs or walking to the bakery. Not to mention the direct impact on quality of life. Sleeping poorly because of cramps or feeling embarrassed about wearing shorter clothes is more common than it seems. No, what few people realize is that the symptoms of varicose veins do not appear out of nowhere. They are the tip of the iceberg of a lifestyle that mixes a sedentary lifestyle, unregulated hormones, genetic factors, and even tight clothes or high heels. It's a dangerous combo that little by little undermines vascular health. And if there's one thing that no one wants, it's to depend on surgery in the future, right? Therefore, it is time to turn the key and understand that every small choice makes a difference. In fact, there is a simple change that can be made tomorrow morning. You know that aunt, mother, or grandmother who keeps complaining about varicose veins? Well, the origin is often in the DNA itself. Genetics plays a huge role in this story. If someone in your family suffers from this, it's a good idea to raise awareness. But it doesn't stop there. Hormones also come into play, especially in women who experience a true hormonal roller coaster throughout their lives. Menstruation, pregnancy, menopause, all of this affects blood circulation and increases the risk of the dreaded varicose veins. Now, add all this to the modern lifestyle, and then the broth thickens. Hours of sitting in the office or, on the contrary, standing for a long time in a store, increase the pressure in the veins of the legs. And don't think that only those who are sedentary are at risk. Even those who live on the run but ignore their body's signals can suffer from leg pain, swelling, and that constant feeling of heaviness. And when excess weight enters the equation, the scenario becomes even more challenging. Every extra kilo forces the veins to work twice as hard. And look, pregnancy, which is one of the most beautiful moments in life, can also be a trigger. Increased blood volume and hormonal changes overload circulation. Have you thought the woman is dealing with her changing body and still has to face the symptoms of varicose veins, which are unforgiving? But don't worry, that doesn't mean all is lost. With the right choices on a daily basis, you can turn this game around. And it all starts with small attitudes that, in the end, make a huge difference. Believe me, you don't need to become an Olympic athlete to take care of your blood circulation. Small attitudes in everyday life have immense power. Want a simple example? Instead of taking the elevator, how about climbing a few flights of stairs? It sounds silly, but this movement activates the leg muscles and helps the blood circulate better. Walking 30 minutes a day, cycling in the late afternoon, or even swimming once a week already considerably reduces the symptoms of varicose veins and that persistent leg pain that persists at the end of the workday. The truth is that the body responds better when we move consistently. You know that habit of parking your car outside the market? Well, leave it a little further away from the entrance and take the opportunity to stretch your legs. Or better yet, if you have the chance, go on foot. In addition to saving fuel, you also benefit from health. This is because a sedentary lifestyle is one of the great villains of the veins. It makes the blood lazy, accumulating pressure in the legs. Over time, the symptoms only get worse, and it's not just for aesthetics, you know. Maintaining a healthy weight reduces internal pressure on your veins. And when we talk about being overweight, it's not just about the scale, but the overload that our legs suffer every single day. Healthy eating, regular exercise, and even that quick break from work to stretch are part of the package. And yes, even swapping the sofa for an exercise bike for 20 minutes while watching your favorite series is already a huge step. And speaking of steps, there is a type of footwear that is sabotaging your health without you realizing it. There are people who won't give up those skin-tight jeans or heels that do wonders for their posture. But what fashion doesn't tell you is that these choices, over time, can become villains for blood circulation. Tight clothing compresses the groin and leg areas, making venous return difficult and favoring the appearance of varicose veins. It's as if the blood tries to rise but finds a blockage along the way. And guess who suffers? Your veins, of course. Leg pain, tingling, and even swelling appear as signs that something is wrong. And the high heels, these are a separate case. When used frequently, they alter the body's natural positioning and impair the pumping of blood from the feet to the heart. It's like forcing your calves to work in economical mode when they should be at a fast pace. Not to mention the posture, which changes completely, overloads the joints, and interferes with the balance of circulation. Of course, using it once in a while is fine, but every day, all day, that's where it gets complicated. The tip is simple and practical. Choose looser clothes, which allow the body to breathe, and invest in light fabrics, especially on hotter days. On your feet, wear comfortable sneakers, lower sandals, and whenever possible, compression socks, which are great allies in relieving symptoms. They help the blood flow better and reduce that feeling of heaviness at the end of the day. And speaking of heat, there is another silent enemy that is closer than you think, especially in summer. Few people know, but heat is one of the worst enemies of circulation. When the temperature rises, the veins naturally dilate. This is physiological. But for those who already have a predisposition, such as those who suffer from varicose veins, this effect can intensify symptoms. Staying in the sun for a long time, taking a hot bath, or exposing yourself to stuffy environments, such as saunas, leads to swelling and pain in the legs. The body gives signs: heavy legs, more visible veins, a feeling of burning inside. And this is not an exaggeration, it is the reality for many people. If heat is inevitable, how we deal with it can make all the difference. A simple and powerful trick is to take cold or warm baths. They help to constrict the vessels and relieve discomfort. Another practical tip is to elevate your legs for a few minutes at the end of the day, preferably leaning against a wall to facilitate venous return. Oh, and if you're at the beach or pool, take the opportunity to walk with your feet in the cold water. In addition to being relaxing, it is therapeutic. The secret is in the details, and it's worth paying extra attention on days when the heat hits hard. You know that stuffiness that seems to melt even your thoughts. This is when the legs suffer the most. Wear light clothing, hydrate well, and avoid staying in the sun for too long. Your body will thank you. And while we talk about simple care that makes a difference, there is another ally that starts on the plate and strengthens the veins from the inside out. Vein health doesn't just depend on creams or compression socks. It starts with the plate. What we eat directly influences blood circulation. Citrus fruits, such as orange, lemon, and kiwi, are rich in vitamin C, which strengthens vessel walls and improves venous return. Dark green vegetables, spinach, broccoli, kale, are champions in antioxidants and fiber, which fight inflammation and help the intestine function well, which also has a positive impact on circulation. And there's more. Garlic, olive oil, and seafood are true natural remedies. Garlic, for example, helps reduce pressure in the veins and acts as an anti-inflammatory. Olive oil is rich in good fats, which protect the vessels and improve blood flow. A simple yet powerful dish. Green leaf salad with olive oil, sautéed garlic, and slices of salmon. This isn't just gourmet, it's a health strategy. Small changes in your daily diet do a lot of good for those who live with symptoms of varicose veins. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can create a weekly menu to strengthen your veins. Monday with a red fruit smoothie, Tuesday with vegetable and turmeric soup, Wednesday with brown rice, broccoli and fish, and so on. Healthy eating is the body's fuel, and prevention starts there. But it doesn't stop there. There are some grandma tricks passed down from generation to generation that still make a difference today. And they are more effective than many people imagine. When popular wisdom meets science, solutions emerge that cross generations and work. This is the case with some home remedies used by grandmothers, which are now back on the scene with a vengeance. One of the best known is the mixture of honey and apple cider vinegar, used both orally and applied directly to the legs. This combination helps improve blood circulation, reduce inflammation, and relieve swelling. Applying with a gentle massage to the affected areas brings almost immediate relief. And the best part, you probably already have these ingredients at home. Another practical resource are compresses with raw potatoes or green tomatoes. Rich in antioxidants and compounds that activate circulation, these foods can be sliced and applied directly to varicose veins for around 30 minutes. It is simple, cheap, and accessible care. Some people also use fresh cabbage as a poultice for its anti-inflammatory properties. Have you thought, while preparing the salad, you are also treating your legs? The secret is to transform everyday life into self-care. And it doesn't stop there. Medicinal plants such as Artemisia and Kalanchoe have gained prominence among natural treatments, used in the form of tea, compress, or ointment. They help to tone the veins and combat the symptoms of varicose veins. Oh, and there's also a lesser-known but powerful trick. Crush an aspirin tablet and mix it with a little water or apple cider vinegar to make a nighttime application strip. It may seem too simple, but sometimes the secret lies in consistency, not complexity. Now, if symptoms intensify or persist, as much as home remedies and habit changes help a lot, there are times when the body screams, and ignoring these signs can be costly. If you feel intense pain in your legs, notice frequent swelling, dark spots, wounds that don't heal, or even spontaneous bleeding, it's time to see a specialist. There is no point in just applying vinegar or applying raw tomatoes if your circulation is more seriously compromised. Health demands attention, and medical monitoring can be decisive. One of the most modern and effective treatments is sclerotherapy, a quick and practically painless procedure that dries damaged veins by applying substances directly to them. There is also laser ablation, recommended for deeper varicose veins, which uses heat to seal the veins and direct blood to healthy vessels. In more advanced cases, traditional surgery is still recommended, and with great results. Each case is unique, and only a doctor can define the best path. Sometimes, the fear of going to the office comes from the idea that everything will end with a scalpel. But this is a myth. With the advancement of medicine, there are now minimally invasive techniques with quick recovery, and that restore not only physical comfort, but also self-esteem. The important thing is to understand that treating varicose veins is not vanity. It is about quality of life. And if you've made it this far, you've already taken a huge step in that direction. Now, the big question is, what are you going to do with all this knowledge? If there's one thing life teaches us, it's that taking care of yourself is never a waste. Every walk you take, every glass of water you choose to drink instead of soda, every time you decide to take off your heels and put your feet up, all of this is self-care. And more than that, it's prevention. The body speaks, the legs tell you, and you just need to learn to listen. Varicose veins don't need to dominate your routine. You have more power over your health than you realize. The journey begins little by little. It's at the market when you choose citrus fruits, green vegetables, and garlic. It's in that warm bath instead of boiling. It's the moment you realize that changing doesn't need the right time, just a real choice. And if at any point you get discouraged, remember, even great rivers begin with small streams. The important thing is not to stop, because true transformation comes from constancy, awareness, and the courage to do things differently. So, if this content helped you in some way, imagine what we can still discover together. Leave your questions in the comments, share your experience, and subscribe to the channel. Here we talk about health truthfully, clearly, and with our feet on the ground, literally. Ring the bell because you still have a lot of valuable knowledge coming. And remember, your legs are what support you in life. Take care of them as someone takes care of their own path.